I met someone, I can't remember who it was, and this guy came to, I did a meetup here in the office, and the guy was telling me a story. It sounded very, very familiar. And I was like, dude, that exact same thing happened to me. He's like, no, I was talking about you. The guy knew the story, and I was impressed, I guess I should say. Welcome to Lesson 5. We're almost halfway through the book. I'm very excited for you guys. And this is a very big jump point. It's a very important point. We're going to start ramping up the verbs that we use. And we're going to start with verbs that use o. Now, we learned o back in Lesson 10 of Course 1, where we learned something o kudasai, or something o onegai shimasu, which means please do this thing, or please give me this thing. You do need to know tachitsuteto and dajizudeto. And the new words are just going to be the 4 verbs that we're going to use in this lesson, but they are important. Taberu, taberu, to eat. Nomu, to drink. Kau, to buy. And uru, to sell. Uru maybe not that much such an important one because how many people sell things, but it is the opposite of buy, and it's going to know. Now, looking at this list, with your advanced understanding of Japanese, which 2 of these verbs, without fail, are regular verbs? If you remember the video that I made called There is no such thing as a ru verb, you'll know that the only function that we know that a ru verb does is that it might not be regular, okay? Any other verb that does not end in a ru, no matter what, is regular. So, nomu and kau are 100% regular verbs. So we know that the conjugation way, the method for conjugating them is last hiragana, which is in u form in the dictionary form like they are now, gets changed to the e form, and then you add your ending. So, nomu, nomimasu, I will drink. Nomimasen, I won't drink. Nomimashita, I drank. Kau, kai, right? Kaimashita, I bought it. Kaimasen deshita, I didn't buy it. Let's look at uru. Uru does not rhyme with iru or eru. It's regular. That right now, if it ends in a ru and it doesn't rhyme with e or e, it is 100% going to be regular. So, urimasu, will sell or do sell. Urimasen deshita, didn't sell. The only verb in here that is not regular is taberu. And taberu, the last 2 you're going to rhyme with eru. It is an iru eru verb. Iru eru drop the ru plus the ending. That's our pattern. So, iru eru drop the ru. You have taberu, tabemasu. Tabemasu, tabemasen deshita, tabemashita. Make sense? All right. Now, let's do a little bit of a review. It's not that much of a review, but we learned this in Lesson 10, like I just said, and you mark an object with the object marker O. It is indeed written W-O a lot of times, and when you type it on the keyboard, the way that you get that character to display is W-O. But typically Japanese people don't say wo. It's just, when it's by itself, it becomes wo for sure. Wa wo un, for example. Wa wo un is the way they'll say it. But in a sentence, it just blends in as an O. Okay? So here's how we use it. The object o verb. Okay, we're going to do something. We're going to do verb to the object. And the thing that's getting something done to it is I had a voice change right now. Like I just became an adult. I'm now 19. Hey guys, just my voice dropped, and we're gonna be doing some deep voice from this point forward. So object o verb. You're gonna do something to that verb, okay? And we'll see how it works. Mainichi sushi o tabemasu. I eat sushi every day. The thing that you're eating is marked with O. Does that make sense? Now, there's a very strategic reason why I put the word mainichi here. Because the must form of a verb, if you remember, can be future tense, in other words, will do, or present tense, do. It's a thing that you do. Not kakapupu do. You guys are immature. Come on. So, by putting, it could be either one, right? So if you just said sushi o tabemasu without any context, it could mean I eat sushi or I will eat sushi. But if I put a word on there like mainichi, I force it into a thing that you do habitually, right? A thing that you do. So, mainichi sushi o tabemasu. I eat sushi every day. But if I put a future word in there, like ashita sushi o tabemasu. Now it must mean future tense. I will eat sushi tomorrow. Okay? So, that being said, I'm using ashita to force this one into the future. So, ashita terebi o kaimasu. Ashita terebi o kaimasu. And we know that this is te. If you've been doing your lessons properly, you can read that. But we don't know re and we don't know bi yet. Ashita terebi o kaimasu. Tomorrow I'm going to buy a TV. You know, this is like a life point, but in my bedroom I used to have a TV. And the TV broke, and I was like, oh man, now I don't have a TV. Then I realized I have a computer. And all of the ways that I watch TV, Netflix and Hulu, they're all on the computer. So I used to have like this mouse that I would move from the desk to the bed to the desk to the bed, and I'd sometimes forget to bring it to the bed. So here's a life hint. Buy a second mouse and leave it at the bed. Pretty impressive information. Watashi wa hon o urimasu. The thing that you are going to sell is marked with, I think you see a pattern. The thing that is acting on, that the verb is acting on is marked with an O. So there's some motion happening, right? You're gonna buy a TV. You're gonna eat sushi. You're gonna sell. You're gonna sell a book. That's what I do, right? I sell books. Watashi wa hon o urimasu. Now in this case, watashi wa hon o urimasu. With no context, it could mean I'm going to sell a book, or I sell books. I sell books, right? That's theoretically, I'm a publisher, right? And I'm an author, but I don't know those words in Japanese yet. You don't know those words in Japanese yet. But you could say when someone says, Anata no shigoto wa nan desu ka? What's your job? You could say, Watashi wa hon o urimasu. I sell books. And then guess what you just did? You communicated in Japanese. The exact thing that you do was said to them, even though it wasn't publisher or I'm an author or I work for a website that sells books. You didn't get to say all of those things yet, but you did get to communicate. That's what I like to really, really keep in your brain, that say what you can say and not what you want to say. Now, when you're learning Japanese, learn to say what you want to say. But in a conversation, your goal is not to continually try to just say exactly what you want to say, because all it's going to do is stop the conversation. So if you sell books, just say, Watashi wa hon o urimasu. Done. All right. This is a good one. In Japan, if you're young, you're not going to have this problem. But Japanese people drink quite a bit of alcohol in Japan. And you've heard the word sake before, or osake. Osake just makes it more polite. And you've heard Americans say, or Westerners or non-Japanese people say sake. I drink sake. It's sake. Sake is the way to say it. So a lot of times Japanese people will offer you a drink. This is how you can say no. Now, I did an entire video on how to refuse a drink, but if you don't remember those words, you say, Watashi wa sake o nomimasen. I don't drink alcohol. Done. Right? You could even go back to lesson 5 of level 1 and say, Watashi wa sake ga suki janai desu. Watashi wa sake ga suki janai desu. You're getting the exact same point across. All right? What if you're a vegetarian? Now, this word vegetarian, what if you don't know it? I mean, a lot of people ask me, how do you say vegetarian in Japanese? I'm not going to tell you. You could look it up in a dictionary. But you could say it now. as long as you know the word taberu, and to say don't eat is tabemasen, and to say meat, because you're going to say I don't eat meat. 私は肉を食べません。私は肉を食べません. Perfect. And then you know what they're going to do? Oh, you're a maru maru maru. And they're going to say vegetarian to you. And you will know it. Try it. Say it. If you have any sort of system where you can meet Japanese people, because this video is going to be used for years, I don't know what's popular right now, but as the making of this video, there's an app called Hello Talk. And you can get on there, it's free, and you can specify an age range of people that you'd like to talk to, so you're not talking to older men or older women if you don't want to, and then, because you don't want to get picked up or something like that. It's a very safe app called Hello Talk. And you can talk to Japanese people. And what I want you to do, consider this homework, is see, without looking it up, if you say, watashi wa niku o tabemasen, see if people give you the answer, how to say vegetarian. Because they're going to come back with something, 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 desu ka? All right. Aoi kutsu o kaimashita. Aoi kutsu o kaimashita. You really have to have this object marker after the thing. Okay? What did we buy here? We bought blue shoes. Could have said ao no kutsu. Would have been fine. Aoi kutsu is fine also. All right. Look at this one. Kayoubi ni ie o urimashita. Kayoubi ni ie o urimashita. On Tuesday, I sold my house. If you're a real estate broker or a real estate agent and you said this exact same sentence, your friends would probably think, oh, he sold a house and he made some money, right? They wouldn't think, oh, you sold your house. Remember, it's all context. All right. Let's learn another particle. Let's jump it up a notch. Now we're going to get a new particle. This is de. This is what I call the event location marker. This marks the place where something happened. An event. Okay? It's important to know that this is different from ni. Ni does not mark where an event took place. It just marks a location where something might be or where you're going. This says something happened at this place. It means in, on, or at, and not to a location. Okay? So let's see how it works. Location plus de, and then the verb. At this location, wasn't on the screen. So location plus de plus verb. So at this location, I did this. It says do object. That makes no sense. Let me fix it. Oh, that was so terrible. I couldn't find how to get out of it. All right. So we want to say do verb at location. Okay? Do verb at location. So location de verb. For example, 電車で食べました。電車で食べました。I ate on the train. I'm going to keep reminding you of this. Remember, Japanese verbs are neutral. The verb 食べました just means ate. And it only becomes I ate because I said it. I said, 電車で食べました. I ate on the train. But if we were already talking about somebody, like let's say we're talking about my daughter, and I was on a trip with my daughter, and I came back home, and my wife says, hey, did Mari eat? Some weird sounds happening next door. Henna oto ga shimasu. I'm going to knock back. This is very scary. Hopefully I locked the door. Very scared right now. Earlier the alarm went off. I was very scared. Alright. Alright. I think we're okay. Okay. Or maybe I was being too loud. We'll see. If they knock again, I was probably being too loud. Okay, so, but it is literally 8 o'clock at night. So, we're on a trip. my wife meets me at the train station and says, "Did Mari eat?" My oldest daughter, "Did Mari eat?" And I could say, "Densha de tabemashita." And now tabemashita means she ate on the train. Does that make sense? The train is where it happened. The verb, the thing that happened, is tabemashita. Now, the word in, on, or at, whatever you need in English is fine. Okay. In the case of a train, it's on, right? But if you ate at a restaurant, it would be at, right? If you ate in the house, no, that would be at the in the car. Is it kuruma de tabemashita, in the car? All right. So English has in, on, and at, but Japanese just has de. Let's continue. Hikouki de tabemashita. Here we go. That's exactly what I was talking about. So densha de tabemashita, hikouki de tabemashita. Ate on the train, ate on the airplane. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to combine what we just did. We're going to combine the object marker particle and the event location particle, right, or marker. We're going to use a sentence that says something. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give you all the words, and I want you to figure out how to put the particles. So, bookstore is honya, honya. And a book is, we know, hon. So how would you say, at a bookstore, I bought a book? At a bookstore, I bought a book. Honya de hon o kaimashita. Honya de hon o kaimashita. Okay? We could even say like, maybe they would say, "Hey, where did you buy this book?" And I could say, Honya de kono hon o kaimashita. I bought this book at a bookstore. Okay? Now that we're learning more Japanese, we're in a way of, we're able to start making more complicated sentences, and it's getting more and more hard for me to give you every example and to review everything. So definitely go through the lesson. In the Q&A section of the lesson and in the mini conversation section of the lesson, there's a lot of examples that are designed to push your variety of sentences. So make sure you go through it. All right. How would you say, let's say that you needed something for school. It was paper. And you asked your mom, "Mom, I need paper for school." And she says, "Just buy it at school." Right? And you want to say to her, "They don't sell it at school. Not sold at school. Don't sell it. They don't sell it at school." How would you say that in Japanese? Gakko de urimasen. Right? That means it's not sold at schools. Gakko de urimasen. There are other ways to say this. You'll learn them as you get better, but this 100% works. Gakko de urimasen. All right? So now we're going to use, we're going to make sure that I don't die here again. Seems like the sound has stopped. All right, so we're going to say now, wow, my voice is dropping. Again, I'm becoming a teenager or an adult. We're going to use the word butcher. I know in America we would typically, like, butcher shops are just part of the supermarket. But in Japan, you could literally just have a shop. All they do is sell meat. So butcher shop is nikuya, nikuya, and meat, we learned from our example where I don't eat meat, is niku. So nikuya de I bought meat. How would you say that? Nikuya de I bought meat. I already gave you the answer. I apologize. Nikuya de I bought meat. Nikuya de niku o it wasn't past tense. I'm sorry. Nikuya de niku o kaimasu. I will buy meat at the butcher. If we wanted to say I bought meat at the butcher's, it would be, of course, kaimashita, right? So we're learning how to use these two particles, and we're making sure that we remember how verb tenses work. So it's a little bit tricky on the brain. All right, I won't ruin this one. I'll give it to you. How would you say, I drank a cola at a friend's house? I drank a cola at a friend's house. Tomodachi no ie de cola o nomimashita. The beauty of particles in a Japanese sentence is we know, because of the particle, what the function of the word is. English doesn't do that. English, it's all about order. In English, the thing that you ate has to come after the verb. But in Japanese, if we want to switch this sentence around, we could say, コーラを友達の家で飲みました. And it would be totally fine. We can switch the order. But in English, you have to say, I drank cola at a friend's house. You could say at a friend's house, I drank cola, but the cola has to come after the verb. In Japanese, it doesn't have to come right before the verb. It can come anywhere else in the sentence. Typically, it's before the verb. That sounds a little bit more natural, but it's not required. Thank you for watching. I'm glad we're done because I really, 声がありません. 声 means voice. I have no voice. 声がありません. I'll see you all on the next lesson 6, I believe, is coming, or maybe there will be another video for lesson 5. We'll find out. See you then. Bye-bye.